This is Goals with Soul, the podcast for visionary coaches and entrepreneurs, building your business with inspired action. In alignment with your mission and authentic message, so you can create impact for your soul clients and feel lit up every day. I'm your host, Jo Ingram, married mum of 3 daughters from London and a former ad agency director turned business coach and strategist. In Goals with Soul, we blend revenue generation with energetics, marketing strategies with pranic healing, and ambitious business goals with our soul's desires. If you're looking to build your business with less efforting and more ease, this is the podcast for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to Goals with Soul. I'm Joanna Ingram, and today we're diving into the foundations of energetic mastery for business. That's going to be an absolute game changer. If you've tried and failed to get your messaging on point, struggled to get your marketing aligned so you show up consistently and attract clients that thrill you, get phenomenal results, are consistent and aligned with everything else you do in your business. If that's you, I've got something really amazing to share with you today that's making a dramatic impact, not just on my business, but on my clients' business and people that I'm sharing this with, because really this is too good to keep to yourself. And if you've got involved in energetics work in the past, you're going to know the value of understanding how we are holistic systems and we cannot expect our marketing or messaging indeed to exist in one particular sphere when we're not taking care of all the other parts of ourselves. I'm going to come to that in just a moment. But first, I just wanted to take a second and thank you so much for your support in listening to Goals with Soul. Recently, we were ranked 2.5% top ranking of all global podcasts in this whole entire world, which is mind-blowing. It's such a phenomenal achievement, and I'm so ridiculously proud of this little corner of the podverse that I call my own and get to share with you and get your feedback and hear from listeners who are just resonating so deeply with specific episodes. So please do keep your feedback coming. Please do click and subscribe if you haven't already. And also please do share your reviews on Apple Podcasts. Clearly, we love 5-star reviews, and we would love to know what particularly you're enjoying about Goals with Soul. Also, additionally, actually sharing your reviews helps our rankings, helps other people find us. So from a purely growth perspective, that's something that has proven to me that when people support and get behind you, you actually get to see that impact in the real world. So thank you again. I love that Goals with Soul is something that adds value to your work and to your life. And please do keep listening, because right now today, we're going to dive in to what energetic business mastery really looks like. So what I'd like you to do is picture a triangle. We're going to divide that triangle in 3. So you've got a mini pyramid at the top, you've got a broader section below that, and then the base of the triangle, that third at the bottom. Now, if that top triangle is messaging, that's the place where you've really got to get your content on point, your copywriting great. You've got to be really, really clear about what your unique message is so that you can resonate. I'm not going to cover that in more detail right now. I cover that in lots of other episodes, and we'll be going into more detail in that again very soon. Now, the second tier down to that is aligned marketing. Because once you've got your messaging all on point, that's great. But as I always love to say, it's no point in keeping it in your Google files. This is messaging that has to be shared. And the way in which we share that in our industry is, of course, using social media, through our emails, when we're guests on podcasts, and a variety of other places. The point being that you have to show up and you have to be aligned. And if you're not aligned in your marketing, then you stop being consistent and you stop showing up. And then people can't find you. They can't get to absorb and resonate with your message. And of course, you will find it quite hard to meet with clients and to actually get your work out there and make the impact that you're designed to make in this world. Now, we're not going to dive too deeply into that particular area in today's episode either, but I am going to leap straight down to the very base of the triangle. And this is the energetics business space. And what I'd love for you to know most of all today is that when you're trying to attract clients, when you're trying to get your marketing on point and you want your messaging to resonate, if you don't get this foundational piece, this business energetics right as well, you're going to wonder why everything feels so darn hard. Why every time you want to do anything, it feels like hard work. Showing up to go live, showing up to write something in Canva, it's just drudgery. And you're like, why is everything such an uphill struggle around here? Why is it that I seem to get crickets when I put stuff out? Why is it that I'm not getting that engagement in my social media? Now, all of those things may be a byproduct of the business energetics that's going on behind the scenes. Let me give you an example. I've worked with a client, not dissimilarly to many clients who come my way, I would say, in that she wants to elevate her brand message. She really wants that message to reach people who, like her, are empowered, they are motivated, they're self-starters, they don't fail too often, they get the results. They're really going to engage in her process. And she has a phenomenal program that she's really excited about delivering. And she wants people to meet her at that level of excitement. She really wants them to go through the process to get those phenomenal results. She, of course, within her own business wants the pride in being able to know that she's made that phenomenal change, but also get the testimonials and the referrals. And most of all, she knows that the work she does ripples on into the universe and wants to see the results and the impact of what she does. Much like all of us, she's heart-centered. It matters. And so she wonders why, when she goes out with messaging that seemingly calls to these people, she's not yet being able to consistently keep them in her business. It's like she gets the odd one, but the energy doesn't hold. She feels like instead she keeps attracting more of the same. She keeps attracting clients that tend to need her to step in a little too much. And being a person that really cares, and also a little bit of that driven energy that kind of gets stuck in a little fast, she just starts doing stuff for her clients. She over-delivers on the amount of hours. And I really resonate with this because this was a situation that I've been in right at the beginning of my business, and I found it really hard to see that that was causing a problem until, of course, I went through the episode of burnout and I realized I just couldn't continue to over-deliver and put so many hours into all the things I was doing. And that includes the hours I was putting into content, that I was mastering kind of the idea of what I should say rather than being intuitive, rather than going with what I was actually called to say, my opinion, my point of view. And similarly, that idea of over-delivering for clients, I've personally had that bit of mum energy. It's like tiger mum wants to get that client over the finish line. But of course, it's not in that client's best interests. And it can really burn you out if you consistently over-deliver. And so back to the client I'm talking about. So she was in a situation where behind the scenes, she didn't have those business boundaries in place. And yet in her messaging, she's calling out to clients who are empowered, who will expect and want her to model those sorts of behaviours because that's exactly what they strive for in their own business too. And so when she clears that, when she really dives into what she's available for and what she's not available for in a really clear and concise way, and most importantly, actions that in her business, even though her knees are knocking. And it's really frightening to say no to some people, to say no when every ounce of your being is saying, oh, I should do it. Just make anything for an easy life, right? The answer is short-term, sure. You might have an easy life just saying, oh, you know what, I'll just do it, whatever. But longer term, and you know this, the reality is that you're going to find yourself really, really depleted from constantly over-delivering, over-efforting and over-proving. But also, you're going to actually close the energetic doors to bringing in those aligned clients that are going to be delighted to work with you in a deeply boundaried way. They're going to respect when it is that your office hours are and are not. They're going to appreciate that they have to do the work and show up at your sessions fully prepared, that the responsibility is on them for their own success. And in order to attract those clients, you have to start with you. And if you're anything like me, i.e. human, you'll be going in and out of different phases of the week, month and year where you're behaving impeccably and other times where those boundaries really slip. And we're allowed to be human. We don't have to be automatons who only do it one way all of the time and are deeply rigid. We can flex and flow, but always with awareness. Always understanding where it's depleting us and where it's something that actually feels quite good to say yes and to flow, even if it wasn't something that you initially thought would be appropriate or acceptable in your business. It's about you being the architect of your own boundaries and your own business energetics. And once you're fully aware of that, you'll find that when you step into your marketing spaces, when you express your messaging, those clients seem to just hear you so much louder. It's like you've amplified your marketing and your messaging, even though tangibly you may have done very little different. And that is, of course, the beauty of energetics. As we all know who are interested in this space, we are all connected, and out there in the full field, there's opportunities to vibrate on the same frequency as others. And if we were vibrating on the frequency of overworking and feeling a little out of control, that's exactly which clients we're going to attract. So if we want to attract those clients that are fully empowered and are boundaried and respectful and take responsibility, that's the energy we need to bring into our business. And that might look different to you as it will to another coach. It's about you defining what that brings, how that energy is evoked, what sorts of boundaries you need to put in place that those energetic shifts can take place. Now, perhaps you are familiar with Abraham Hicks, and Abraham Hicks talk about the emotional guidance scale from 1 down to 20-something. And up there at the top few are things like passion and energy and motivation and enthusiasm. And as you progress down it, you move to things like boredom, and then on to things like overwhelm and worry, and down to, of course, more depression, etc. And knowing where you are on that guidance scale when you're doing your aligned marketing and when you're putting out your messaging is really important, because those are the clients that are going to feel that kind of energy and they're going to react to it. And I know I found that when I was in a very depleted energy, I tended to attract clients who were depleted themselves and were kind of clinging on like it was a lifeline, but also depleted me further. It was like a self-perpetuating cycle. And when I put an end to that and I created what I now call my manifesto, where I state exactly what I am and am not available for, it completely shifted. And that meant I had to make some hard decisions. At the beginning, I actually said no to a couple of prospective clients, not in an unkind way. It was very much of the energy, which was, I think that you've got some work to do before we would get the most out of our work together. It was out of love, because I do believe if you work with a client who isn't ready to work with you and you're in that scarcity mindset and you just bring them into your business anyway, they're in all likelihood going to get lesser results. Or certainly if they do get results, that's soon going to drift away from them once they're out of the container where they're working in your energy. So see where that exists in your business right now. And if there's some opportunities to do a bit of housework, a bit of clean sweeping in your business energetics, and feel the shift then as you call in those elevated higher level clients. And to qualify what I mean by elevated and high level, this is different again for each individual. So one person may say this means higher paying clients. Somebody else might say these are clients who are just more fun to work with. But in all likelihood, it may cover both of those things and many others, because when we elevate ourselves, we tend to call in best fit, perfect match clients that just make such a difference to our day and make such a difference to our business and leave our containers, calling out our virtues and showing what a difference they're making in the world. So if that's for you, there's a little prompt today, a bit of inspired action to encourage you to lean in. And that is to create your manifesto. What is it that you are no longer available for? List out at least 3 things and then fill them with 3 things that you are now available for that you wish to call in energetically to your business. And right now, I am looking for 3 inspired, elevated female coaches that want to work on this in much more detail together with the full triangle, the messaging, the marketing, and the business energetics, so they can completely shift within their business and call in their most aligned clients. If that's you right now, please do send me a DM over on @IamJo.Ingram, and I will share all the details with you. So, to your Inspired Action Week. Take care. Bye now.